What's up YouTube, TB Percival here, and today I'll be showing you me Warner Brothers Family Entertainment VHS collection. Let's start with the pre-owned title. It was originally distributed by Paramount, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Made in 1971 and was re-released in 1996 on home video. Well, technically it is the 2000s re-release. Yeah, how I love Gene Wilder's acting in there. Well, too bad he's dead now. But I can still remember his acting. That's the tape label. At least the child actors were still alive as of today. It became a cult classic after its theatrical release. People have now re-owned it. Let's start off with the next title, officially in the Family Entertainment selection, Menace, or as we call it, Dennis the Menace. But since over here in the United Kingdom we refer to Dennis to avoid confusion with the comic strip of the same name. How I love Walter Matthau's acting in there, and along with Mason Gamble. John Hughes is definitely the genius of making comedies. Here's the tape, along with the inside cover of that, the advertisements. Yep. The next film, it was actually international distribution, The Pebble and the Penguin. Originally distributed by MGM over in America, but over here it was distributed by Warner Brothers. It's a long story short, and you know what I mean. Here's the tape label. Never mind about the performance at the box office, I still love Tim Curry's performance in there as the main villain. The next issue is Our Little Princess, released in the same year as Pebble and the Penguin. Based from a novel, and it was set during the World War I. In fact, this year we are actually celebrating the conclusion of the war on November the 11th, because that would be a few months from now. But I can't keep count of the months anyway. So sorry about that. I'm not actually technically a full mathematician. Here's the tape, along with the inside advertisements. This is actually a reissue in 1998. The next official release from 1997, made in 1996, is Space Jam, featuring Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny. You'll have to excuse the sun-bleached spine. That was the, I think that was it from the previous owner. How I love Danny DeVito's acting in there, along with Wayne Knight and Fierce Randall. It was a commercial success. You can see from the customized tape label. think it was turned out to be a really good film from that company, though. The next title that was actually distributed by Warner Brothers is Fairy Tale: A True Story, released in 1997 and released on home video in 1998. It was originally distributed by Paramount and Icon. And how it actually happens features the good acting in there. Here's the tape label of it. Much later, Icon would be distributing its own films under its own distribution company. The next title, right after Space Jam in the Warner Brothers feature animation section, is The Magic Sword: Quest for Camelot. Also known as the original title, Quest for Camelot in America. Released in 1998 and released on home video on that very same year. Again, how I love the animation, but it was strongly compared to other Disney films because Warner Brothers was following into Disney's footsteps. Here's the tape label of that. It sadly failed at the box office, but I think in a few years' time it'll be given another chance to be re-owned as a cult classic, which some other fans may doubt. Either way, it's still a good film to watch. Despite the nostalgic critics' explain memes. Well, I'm actually kind of agree with him on that one. Anyhow, here's a sequel from the original Dennis film, released in the same year, 1998. Dennis Strikes Again. Don Rickles from Quest for Camelot does his role as Mr. Wilson. And George Kennedy as Dennis's grandpa. It was given a U rated because it was toned down to be more family friendlier. Unlike the first Dennis film, it was rated PG. Here's the tape label of it. Finally, very ironically, the best known film of them all, The Iron Giant. Released in 1999 and released on home video in 2000. Yes, it did fail at the box office the very first time, but it was now re-owned as a cult classic. Based from Ted Hughes' novel, The Iron Man. Director Brad Bird was now actually officially released it as the collector's edition much later. An extended edition even. Oh, how I love Vin Diesel's acting in there. The voice acting is really good for a title character. Other than that, these are still good films. Well, that's it. And I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Ciao!